That's your purpose. Your dreams, that's your purpose. My name is January Curry.
Hi, I'm Danny Canada.
Hi, my name is Shaquita Smith.
Hello, world. I'm Arthur Connie Schofield Morrison.
Hi, my name is Tamika Jameson.
For women who dare to dream, I just encourage you to stay the course. Don't let anyone distract you and follow your God-given gifts.
I would say that you were giving your gifts and passions for a reason.
You know, a lot of times people continually to tell you no. A lot of times people can tell you, you're not good enough, but just knowing who you are.
And be the best at what your talent is. If it's cooking, cook with love. If it's singing, sing out loud. If it's running and walking, leap until you can fly.
Create really small goals that will get you to the bigger goal. Because when you process and think about that bigger goal all the time, you will become overwhelmed. So it doesn't matter what's at the top of the mountain if you ain't climbed at the bottom yet. So just focus on those small pieces, accomplish those, and then focus on the next goal. And you're going to get there, I promise you.
Hey everybody, it's me, your fave, Jazzonfire. And if you are seeing my lovely face, then y'all know what it means. It is 4th Sunday and you are watching In Creative Color. Another Sunday where we talk about the people behind the paintings, okay? We want to talk with the artists, the heartbeats behind the arts, the creatives, the bakers, the movers and shakers. And y'all, we've got another lovely guest here today with us. So we're going to bring him in. Joshua, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. How about yourself?
I'm good. Okay, y'all. So I've got to read this bio. Joshua Jones is a Memphis native who made the move to Atlanta 3 years ago to build a business alongside his cousin. A lover of words and traveling, Joshua has been writing poetry since childhood, using it as a lens to explore life, emotion, and the human experience. When he's not engaged in books or jotting down poems, which we always ask about, you'll find him outdoors sitting in nature. With a deep curiosity for how people think and communicate, he is constantly learning about the human brain and the art of body language. Ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Jones. All right, y'all. So y'all know the drill. I know y'all probably went to church this morning, this afternoon. Maybe you go to a Baptist church and you just now getting out. But we're going to get into this conversation. So Heavenly Father, we just thank you for another day that we are so privileged and blessed to see, that you didn't have to give to us, but you did. We thank you that it is your creative grace that flows through our veins that makes it even possible for us to create, to birth things, to bring forth visions and ideas that come from heaven, essentially. We recognize that you are the ultimate creator, the one who created the birds and the trees, the water, the sky, everything that is beautiful around us. So we pray that you would just birth something in us that we can birth, oh God, and show evidence of just you and your glory. We will give you praise. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Joshua. So I know we got into it a little bit when in your bio, but we want to know, who are you when you are not creating? When the pens are down, the laptop is closed, we not we just being. Who are you?
I'm just a person that loves life. I'm a funny person. I'm actually a jokester. I love to have fun. I love to just communicate with people, strangers. When I'm not when I'm not nervous or anything like that, I find myself always listening to somebody's story, and also telling mine. So that's who I am. I'm a person. I love to be outside. I love to work out. Love to just be around family and friends and really just build connection with people.
I love that. That's beautiful. I gotta know, why poetry? Why not any other type of creative writing? Why is this like the avenue for you?
Um, I didn't pick it. It chose me. I think as a child, I had to find an outlet. So when I was a child, I really had a voice. I was very to myself. So I had to so I started writing. And I remember listening to Wale. I don't know if everybody know who Wale is. He's a rapper.
Yeah.
And I was like,
have to be a part of every like poet's origin story. Like I loved me some Wale growing up. I was like, I'm gonna be Wale. I'm just gonna be
yeah, I promise. It was like when I heard it, I was like, I'm already writing, but I'm like, this man he cold, and I love how he flowed, and I definitely he inspired me to even write a little bit more. So I think that started it off, and basically me having a space to really talk and express myself.
I love that. And then I want to know then, because I know we see like the people, I feel like every creative has someone that inspires the work that they do, or at least that, it's like, wow, like I love how they do this. I kind of want to take this into my work. So what are the things or the people that inspire your work?
The things, I think being transparent, being vulnerable. I even with music a little bit. I love music as well. Um, I listen to more of R&B, and it's more of people are expressing themselves when it comes to their love or they even their dislike about somebody. Just being very creative with just being vulnerable and allowing yourself to really just bleed on the pen. I bleed on the music or anything like that. So that's why I find that's what I love to do. So it's I'm just so honest. You gonna find an honest thing with me because I'm gonna be very transparent.
For sure. And I think that's important in our works. Like people can feel when your work isn't authentic or it's not you. Like people can't resonate with something that isn't real. Because I would hope that most people are reading, most people who are craving creative or are looking for something real. Like obviously you go to creative and storytelling for fiction, but you still want something that feels real. And I think it's super important to just let the authenticity show in everything that you do. So I love that. And personally, I saw it in the work. So I can't wait to talk a little bit about A Complicated Heart, which is what we're going to be chatting about today. This is Joshua's book. And then tell me, is this your first book?
This is actually my first one. My baby.
You gotta tell us all about it. What is the story behind A Complicated Heart? Like, what was the conception of it?
Wow. I think I've been writing this probably. I didn't know I've been writing this probably for 4 years. I finally got the confidence to put it out. So it's about my relationship with God. It's about love. It's about pain. It's about abandonment. When I wrote this, it basically it's like a story in a way. It's basically talking about my start of wanting love and wanting to, build connection. And I went through like a situation of not feeling it or connecting with people. But throughout that road, that journey, I found love, and I found what love really was, and it was something within me. And also God, He is the love of, He's the author of love, and I had to, when I throughout my pain, throughout my troubles, He redirected me towards Him, and that's when I found what the real meaning of love was.
I think that's beautiful, and I definitely got that in the story. There were moments where I was reading, and I feel like we follow a story. And I noticed like an art of like yearning for romantic, like romance, and then we see like romantic heartbreak, and then we just kind of shift. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I see what we're doing here. Like I know what this is. I know that ain't who I think it is, or I know that ain't about who I think it's about. And we see that shift to supernatural healing. So I think that is like very well done in the book. And y'all can see at the bottom, like y'all got to make sure y'all get y'all copy of A Complicated Heart. It is amazing, and I think it's super important always for us to hear the poetry in the poet's voice. So I want you to pick your favorite poem from this collection. And you gotta give us a little reading. No, you gotta give it to us.
Okay, I got you. So this is definitely one of my favorites.
Okay.
So I'm from the start, and most of my poems I'm very they're not too long, but here we go. If death greets me in the morning, may my family and friends be showered with flowers. May they know that in the morning I met God, and all my struggles and fears disappeared from existence like a shooting star. May they rejoice instead of cry. May they know that I found my way into heaven gates, where I was welcomed with milk and honey.
Ooh, this is good to y'all. And every poem is like literally like music to the ears. And I think it's so important. Like as I was reading, obviously, I'm like, this is good. Like, love this. This is poetic. Like even hearing it in your voice, there is such an importance to hear the poetry in the poet's voice, to see how they inflict, what words mean the most to them. So thank you for taking us through that. And I wanna talk a little bit about the creative direction of your book. And so obviously, if y'all go get the book, I'm telling you, it's right there at the bottom. Go get your copy of A Complicated Heart. But I want to talk a little bit about the creative direction of the book. And so I know there aren't like really titles. We don't get a table of contents. Like we just see like the rose and the heart throughout the sprinkled throughout the poems. What was the creative direction of that? Like, was that intentional? What's like, we don't get no titles. You just gonna go through this. You're gonna experience this. Tell us.
So the title basically it says it for itself, like A Complicated Heart. I think the rose is the romance, the heartbreak, like the heart. If you see the design of it's like a broken heart in a way, but it's also still attached. So it's like that was basically my ideal on it, because I knew that I'm a lover of love, and I know with love there is a sense of pain, there is a sense of discomfort. A lot of times you cannot obtain love without going through the painful parts of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's really what it was. And I was like, I don't really have titles for it. I never really, when I write poetry, I really don't have titles. It's just something that comes to my heart, and I just start writing. And I was like, okay, I have a title for the book, but I don't really have a title for each poem. It's just never been a thing that I did.
I feel that. And I'm definitely the same way. Like me and titles, I can't do it. Like, or I have to force one, or like I'm like, I want the title to come naturally, because it's like you can create. It's so funny as creatives, as poets, we can create this like 3, 4, 5 minute long, or like, this 10, 15, 20 page body of work. And it's like, and what will I call it? And it's like, I have no more words. I already put every single word I have on the page. Unfortunately, I don't have a title for it. And to be honest, though, that's why I wanted to know if it was intentional, because as I was reading, it was like, I feel like titles, obviously, like it's kind of like the idea of like judging a book by its cover. You can look at it, I know that what this is going to be about. And it's like, okay, maybe I'll read it. But it was like, without it having a title, I had no choice but to let each poem like be an experience. And like
Yes.
with that, like it's like I kind of made my own titles. It's like a build your own adventure through each poem. It was like, this, like, what is the theme of this? And I think that's the thing too. It's like obviously not like, to just box us in, but like when we have a title, it's like this is what I want you to feel from it.
Mm-hmm.
As with it, like reading your poems, it was like, wow. And then I would read it again. I'm like, wait. I'm like, wait, hold on. I don't know what to feel. And so I feel like, I don't know, like whether or not that was intentional, whether it was like, you know what, I want you to feel whatever, or it was like, I just ain't got a title for you. I think that really, personally for me, like definitely did something for the experience while reading it. So I just wanted to commend you for that. And I needed to know.
Thank you.
Because I was like, oh, okay. And then now I see two. Again, get y'all's copy. But throughout, you either see a rose or you see like the broken heart. And I was like, oh, okay, this gives me like an inkling of where we're going. But I was like, well, I don't know. This could be like based on that one. And that one could go either way. So I absolutely loved it. It was a great experience.
Yes, I think what you said, it was intentional. I think the story is you create your own story. When I write poetry, it could be a lot of meanings to that poem, but I want the people who are reading it to make their own story, come up with their own idea of, okay, what are he talking about? Is he talking about this? Or he talking about that? And it's like I think that's the reason we write poetry. Like you really create your own, your own story. So
I love that. That is beautiful. And I know that you said that you are a lover of love. I know you talked about your relationship with God. And I noticed that I think the poem where it shifted, it was page 75. And it was the one where you say, continue to redirect me when I find myself searching for answers. And so like in the beginning, like I mentioned, I thought we were talking about like, some lost love of our life. I'm like, oh, this is tea. Like, oh my God, this is juicy. I got to know that, I got to know who this is about. And then when you say, keep me near when I'm seeking worldly validation, open my eyes when I'm blinded by my fears, I'm like, hold on. That sounds biblical. I hear there's some oil in these pages. And then you go on to seize my anger when I want to react, humble my spirit when I want glory, continue to break me, allow me to die over and over again so I can continue to put you first. And I know for me as a believer, and I think maybe it's just me as a believer and a creative, I'm always looking for God in things, or like I'm gonna notice. I'm like, oh, this a sister, this is a brother in Christ, all right. And so I feel like this was the moment where I realized that this was a little bit more than just like natural love. We were talking about something supernatural here. But I would love to know, because you also said you're a lover of love, so I know like this is for the lovers, of course, but who is this book for, or who is like the target audience? Is it for the lovers? Is it for the hopeless romantics? Is it for the heartbroken? Is it for God? Like when you wrote this book, who did you have in mind?
All of above. God, the people who going through hardship, people, the lovers. I think it's for every single person that wants to read it, because I got the love, I got the pain, I have God, most important God. Also, like it's for anybody. To be honest.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I love that. And I think it's just something important about like creating work that transcends our like target audience or our target demographic. Like, yeah, I wrote this for, the people who love God, but it's like there's somebody out there who doesn't know God that needs to see this. Or it's like I wrote this for the lovers, but it's somebody out there with like a broken heart who needs to see this. So I love that. And I feel like again, like I was like, oh wait, there's a shift happening, and I love it. And speaking of that shift, because we can see it, there is a story. I believe each poem, although it's like its own standalone thing, we see like a journey. We see an arc of like romantic heartbreak to a supernatural healing. Tell us about how you were able to craft that story, and what that looked like building that arc.
That's a good question. I guess going through life. To be honest, I think you have to experience things to really understand what it means to really live. I think during that time, I was in a weird place with my connection with God, and even just relationship. And it's so funny how God, he's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, okay. He's like, okay, do your thing. He like, do your thing. Okay. You don't need me. Get in that relationship. Get in that situationship. And throughout that time in that situationship, I got broken. Like broken. I was in this situation, I got broken. I was going through a hardship of I think I lost my job and everything like that, and it was just a time of just he basically brought me right to him. Like I was, I think I didn't have a job probably for like a month or two, and I remember like it was a shift, and it was like, you know what, I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself. I'm gonna get into the Bible. I'm gonna talk to God. I'm gonna work out, and throughout that time, He brought me closer to Him, and my connection with Him now is like it's so beautiful. It's like, dang, it took me to go through something like this to he's just like he knew what he was doing. He's like, okay, I'm gonna give you time, but I'm gonna show you that you're gonna come right back to me.
Yeah.
So
One thing about it now, if you don't humble yourself, he gonna humble you. He's gonna humble you. I feel like one thing that I have been saying, we have someone in the comments saying he sure knows how to bring us to our knees. Because one thing about it, you don't want to get on your knees and pray. The Lord said, okay, don't worry about it. I got something for that. But the thing that I've been saying lately, and the power in the tongue. But the Lord knows his daughter. Like he said, he's hilarious. He knows my sense of humor. He created me, and I'm sure he'd be chuckling. But I'm like, Lord, I hope you know that you ain't gotta break me down. Like I promise you, I ain't got to hit rock bottom to come back to you. Like I know what that feels like, and I don't. But I think we fail to realize, as like humans, as just independent beings, that sometimes like that is the only way we can truly come to God, because otherwise we are not fully relying on him. We're not fully in him. We're not fully running after him. And like even in your story, like I hear a little bit, and it's like just a common thread with every believer, that in the pursuit of trying to find like joy or like purpose or passion, like God is in it. Like it's not a thing without him. And so like I know for me, I was like, Matthew 6:33 is my favorite verse. And that's first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will follow. And I'm like, how am I supposed to seek you first, God, if I got bills and I got a job and I got to do this and I got to do that? So I look through the Bible. It's so funny. I'm like, this is so characteristic of me in our relationship. And I'm like, now where how am I supposed to seek you first? And as I'm flipping through the Bible every night, I'm like, that's kind of good. And as I'm trying to find the answer to my question, I'm finding the answer to my question. I'm finding him in those pages. So like one thing about it, basically what that comment said, the Lord knows how to bring you to your knees. And
he does.
I think it's beautiful as creatives that in that we also find our creative identity. We find like, or we tap into like the fact that like the literal creator of the universe created us. And he gave us a little bit of that creative sauce that he has that created everything around us. And so I would love to know, like, at what moment did like it really click for you, like that writing and poetry was more than just like a hobby or, something you do on the side, but you were like, wow, this is what I was created for. Or if you haven't had that moment yet, like, tell us what that's like.
Oh, wow. I think when I moved to Atlanta,
okay.
It's so funny. I think God places you around people who really believe in you. And I think in Memphis, I didn't have that core community. And I remember like, this is my cousin. I got definitely shout out my cousin. He's a creator as well. And he was like, bro, you be writing. I don't know why you don't be sharing. And I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if it's that good or anything like that. And I remember he was just bringing around people, and I was just sharing my poetry even like more and more. And that really just shifted me and shifted my idea. Like I could really do this. I could really write a book. I could really just do this for real. And so that shifted me. Community, being around community really shifted my whole perspective on this writing thing. So it really, and I thank God for me moving to Atlanta and being around the people I need to be around.
For sure. Oh my goodness. I think it's important sometimes when we don't believe in ourselves. Like it is just of the absolute utmost importance to have somebody around us speaking life into us. To be honest, like I feel that there are so many times where I feel like, there's evidence. I'm such an evidence-based person. I think as people, we are evidence-based. That's why it's like really hard to have faith sometimes. It's like, I need to see this God that's supposed to do X, Y, Z. But like you could have the literal evidence. Like I wrote a book. I have a literal copy that I can hold in my hand sometimes. And like, I still will find myself being like, I don't know if this is for me, or I don't know. And you have that friend or that family member or that partner who just says, yo, like, you're so amazing. Like, you are fearfully and wonderfully, like, who has to speak life into you, has to remind you of like your gift and your talent. So I love that. You definitely got to shout out cousin, because like, you don't know, might mess around cousin be up here October,
Yeah.
November.
Hey,
Come on, cousin.
I got you. DeMarcus, his name is DeMarcus Fields.
DeMarcus.
Yeah.
Okay, DeMarcus
Yeah.
Fields. Remember the name. I love that. Okay. So I know we talk a little bit about your book, about A Complicated Heart, but what are the major things that you want people to take away that they may not immediately grasp themselves?
Oh, that's a great question. I think just have hope. I know life is tough, but we all are complicated in a way. But just have hope. Continue to, keep striving, keep doing your thing, as in whatever that is, and also keep God first. I think I had to learn to, like we talked about earlier, like just to keep bringing him in the center, keeping him in the center, so that everything I do is for his purpose and not my own. And it really changes your perspective when you start to keep God in the center and not a part of your life, but he really is your life, and he's not a part of it. He's really the center of it. So
that's T. That's T right there. Because we get it wrong when we're like, okay, these are my plans. God, can you bless it? And it's like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. So I love that. And again, one thing about In Creative Color, we're going to take the folk to church. I know you might have gotten a word this morning, get another one this afternoon. So that is Joshua. Thank you so much. So one thing, because I'm a little biased, I love my poets because I'm a poet. But one thing I like to do with my poets is this thing where I have just called bars. And it is some of the standout lines from the work that we're specifically talking about. And I just want to give them a moment and kind of like rap genius them. Because one thing about me, when I write a bar, I'm like, y'all got to feel this bar. Like, I say the bar and I'm like, say it again because y'all ain't feel it. But I just want to give them a moment for like us to rap genius them. And then we want to hear the creative process behind it and just let it like marinate. So first one that like just caught my eye was in your book. And I can't remember which poem it was because no titles. But it said, I watched God illustrate praise dances in a candle. Bar. Like, do y'all hear that? I love imagery. Like, I love pretty words. I'm biased. I'm a poet. But like, I just thought this line was so beautiful. And just take us through like the process. Like, what inspired it? Where did it come from? Like, when you wrote it, were you like, this heat? Like, you
know. The funny thing, I love imagery as well. I've always been since I was a kid. Like, I used to watch. This might sound like, I don't know if everybody did this, but I used to look at clouds and create characters with clouds.
You're not alone. You're not a friend. You're a friend.
So when I look at a candle, it moves in a way. It was one day I like to have candles on when I'm writing and music playing. So really instrumentals, and I think I was just looking at it, and I was just like, I was just looking how beautiful, how it moves, and it moves in a way, and it's like, all right, let me put that. How it praise dance. It's like, because it's like it's dancing, it's moving like it's dancing. So yeah, that's what it came from.
I love that, because one thing about me, I'm the same way. I love a good candle, and I was gonna ask you that too. Like, what is your favorite writing setting? So we'll get into that. But I love candles, and it's just something about like literally when I was writing my book, I got into a point, especially when I started to hit creative blocks a lot, where it's like I got to turn off all the lights, I got to turn on gospel music or the praise and worship, the lo-fi. And I just got to sit and let the candles it just felt like ambiance. And now I'm never going to not see like praise dancing in a candle. Like, oh, that was beautiful. I love that. Okay. Next one. Theories are just perspectives searching for validations.
Wow.
Wow. No, that's what I said. This is your theories.
Oh my goodness.
Perspectives searching for validations. You got to walk that out for us. You've got to
listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know where they came from. I think sometimes it's not even ideal. It's just sometimes it just comes. It's like and I'm not gonna say I think it's just nothing but God. I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give it who it is. It's God, because it be a lot of times it just pops in, it just flashes across my brain. I'm like, okay, let me write this down. I like that. And I don't even know. I can't recall you. I can't even tell you where it came from right now. maybe later. I
Yeah.
haven't even thought about that poem in so long.
And I feel like that's literally how it works to like have this creative grace in us. It's like you write something,
Mhm.
you're like, oof, you're like, yeah, that wasn't me. Thanks. But woof, that was heat. That was
Yeah.
good. I love that one. Okay, last one.
Mhm.
Do you still remember those late nights where our lips shaped fireworks, where we used our bodies as blankets? I can hear like the saxophone in the back. I was, oh, we getting sexy. This is we getting sexy. That one was nice. Take us to the creative process.
Being in a relationship, yeah, that's all. Being in a relationship, you being in that intimate moment with somebody, you right here just with the person, and I pictured it, and that's what came up.
That is absolutely beautiful. Literally, so many more bars throughout the book. Y'all got to make sure you go get your copy of A Complicated Heart. They've got the link at the bottom. You can go to it. I think it's real simple. It's his name, JoshuaDewittJones.com. Get your copy.
That's it.
But like y'all, the bars were there. The bars were doing what they needed to do. So I always just like to make space for us to like literally get into those bars. So I gotta know if it's like not in this book, if it's another work, what do you think is like the hardest bar you've ever written? Like you wrote it, or maybe like the hardest piece, the hardest project, and you were like, dang, like when you were done, you like, I can't even touch this. I don't know who that was.
Oh, I think I have a lot of poetry that I'd be like, I have to go back to and look at. I feel like I got a lot of poems that I feel like, oh wow, this is nice. I haven't put it out yet. Some of them I haven't put it out. Some of them are in the book, but I think every day I continue to write something. And I'm like, okay, it's getting better each time I'm writing. So that's my goal, to continue to be the best artist I can be, that God has created me to be. So yeah.
I love that. Joshua, this was quite the pleasure. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for your work. Tell the folks where they can find you. Tell them where to buy A Complicated Heart, even though it's at the bottom of the screen. Tell them in case they can't read. And tell them any other things that they can look forward to from you. Any sneak peeks, exclusive, any tea. We want it all.
Okay. First off, I want to say thank you as well for having me. Where you can find this is my Instagram handle is Joshua DeWitt. It's DWITT Jones. And what else? And my book is JoshuaDewittJones.com. What I got planned is I'm trying to find a space right now for my book signing. So that's what's coming up soon. And I'm also writing. I got another book. I got actually like a couple more books I'm writing, working on right now.
Multiple books, okay.
Yeah. So it's I get I ain't gonna tell you how to never mind the title. Somebody might steal it.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Somebody might steal it.
I'm like, we all can't hear, but I'm like, nah. Gotta catch it. You gotta follow Joshua and be in the mix and know when he drops it. But we are so excited. We're praying for you. We're praying that God just continues to move through you. We cannot wait to see what else you create. And again, thank you so much for being on an episode of In Creative Color.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you, Joshua. And thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode. Remember, Jazzonfire got your 4 Sundays a lot. So if you are not tuned in every 4th Sunday at 3:30 p.m., just gonna set that calendar invite for next month because we got an amazing guest lined up already. Hopefully we'll be seeing Joshua's friend, his cousin up here real soon. So y'all gotta type in any creatives, any artists, any people that you want to see up here. Shoot them my way. We always want to talk with, like I said, the creatives, the bakers, the movers, and shakers. We want to see the heartbeats behind the art. So thank y'all again so much for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I cannot wait to check in with y'all next month. Bye.
If you're looking for a secure haven within the literary world, you found the perfect organization. Let's make magic together. Our space is specifically designed for African American authors who are passionate about their writings of films and books. It's a platform to stay informed about industry developments. And on Patreon, we'll share exclusive content, valuable resources, and engaging discussions and masterclasses on various subjects, ranging from film and publishing industry trends to wellness and business tips. So if you're ready to dive into this exciting community, become a member now. Welcome to our literary haven where creativity knows no bounds. Let's make magic together.
Hey y'all, I am Jasmine Bunch, but now and forever to be known as your fave
Jazzonfire, and I am one of the newest hosts of the Sunday Craft Chats. Catch me every fourth Sunday hosting in creative color. Can't wait to see y'all there.